It's a Daily Talk Show, episode 304.
We got DJ Shergz in the building.
Damn right you do.
Is that the DJ name?
It is the DJ name, which was ironic, but now it's sort of taken its own turn.
Yeah, it just came to me. I felt it.
Yeah.
Leon Sjogren, you're joining us for Fat Fridays. Thanks for being here. You are the executive producer of a radio show in Australia, or in Melbourne specifically.
Does it go out across Australia, like later on?
No, I don't think it does actually. No, well, just Melbourne.
It's also a podcast, it's a global show.
Correct.
The EP of a global show, but then again, so is Mr. 97.
Yeah,
correct.
A producer, EP, fuck. That went real up.
He's got an EP status.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't think
that was a mistake, but now it's recorded, so he has to be the EP.
We'll talk money after the show.
Leon,
yes.
You and I work together. We've been, you've been on the show before.
I have.
All that sort of stuff.
That was like within the 100, wasn't it? That was
I reckon it was just after 100. Yeah.
You know who should know? The EP. If he is the EP, he'll know.
He would know in 20 seconds.
If you know right now.
If you guess it before you look.
You get EP status.
Yeah.
EPs.
Ooh,
you
this
get
is a good one.
It's close to 100k.
Shit.
EPs get 100k.
I already said it was within the 100.
What?
Could have led him down a rabbit hole in the wrong direction.
130.
130. I think I was fucking overseas in 130.
I'm pretty sure I said. I just told you that it was within 100.
Oh, within a...
I said
it's done.
I said it was within 100. Mate, you fucked. You've
done.
lost your title.
Anyway.
I reckon it was 109 or something like that.
101. No, 109.
Just want to say quickly, you're
Yes.
top.
Yes.
If you're listening, you can't see it, obviously.
Can't see
It says gnocchi. But
yes.
you might be mistaken that it says Gucci from
It's the
afar.
Gucci logo and font, but it says gnocchi.
I didn't actually. The funny thing is,
I knew you would not get it.
No, I actually thought I was like,
pop
that was a
culture involved.
fancy. Well, gnocchi is not pop culture, is it? Which is more pop culture, Gucci or gnocchi?
No. That top is more pop culture than Gucci because it's what the kids have done.
Can you guess?
Let's take the expensive shit and make it cheap and funny.
Tommy, can you guess where Leon used to work as a job?
Oh, yeah, I know. Because you worked there with a friend that I knew. Chris Gordon Walker, was it?
Well, don't say full names.
No, I'll say who I want. Chris, shout out Chris. I know you'd love a shout out. You got a great wine
I've
business.
had a few jobs. I didn't just work there.
Yeah, which one? Maybe it's not this
Chris went to Superdry. There was what Levi's or the
JJ's.
I worked at
JJ's.
They had novelty shirts. They were like novelty shirt central.
Did they? Were they?
Big on the novelty shirts.
They were the ones that always had. Oh, they're actually still around, but I don't think they do novelty shirts anymore. They were the ones that had like.
It's because they'll be sued if they rip off people.
They were the ones that had FBI, like federal body inspector.
Oh,
You know,
it's a bit creepy now.
If found, return.
Yeah.
Like it was the kind of place where every time when I was working, a middle-aged couple would come in and a guy would not believe it could be written on a shirt. It's like, oh, Mary, have a look at this one. you can't do that.
It's the same guy who's in Bali getting really excited
Absolutely,
on Kuta,
yeah.
just going along the beach. Just being like,
Or
put it on a
how
t-shirt.
much?
Yeah, we can get our actual. They personalise them too. You can get your own name.
He's the American that wears the NASA T-shirt. There are so many people that wear
that's cool.
Love a
NASA.
Oh,
That's hipster cool.
Is it?
Yeah,
I don't think
so.
they're wearing it ironically though.
Yeah, that's what I gauge.
yeah.
I gauge that they were full big nerds, like rockets, spaceships.
I think it's. I thought I nearly got one. But I feel like I need to learn more about space before I get one.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Nah.
Anyway,
I also worked at Video Easy. That was my other job.
Really?
Yeah.
What sort of perks did you get working at Video
Free
Easy?
rentals.
Okay.
I heard something interesting about Blockbuster recently. So at a time where their business was thriving, they made $800 million in a year based on late fees.
Correct.
And it was at a time when they were looking at potentially pivoting to streaming services. The board decided not to. Wasn't a great idea. Why would we remove our late fees? And they fucked it. They really fucked it.
Yeah. I think they had like Netflix approached one of them to have a deal. Do you know what happened before? Like streaming services, the mail out service. I can imagine.
Did you get it?
So before,
So you'd have to know like a few days in advance what movie you want.
Yeah.
Well, it was really quick. The thing is that there was one in Australia called Quick Flicks.
Quick Flicks, that's the one.
And so that we didn't have Netflix, the mail out service in Australia. They had Netflix in the US, and that's where it was. And Quick Flicks was that version here. The thing was that I actually had them come after me. They sent me to a credit. Like, what's that called? A company coming after me for money.
Debt collector. Yeah.
Had a debt collector come after me because they were saying there's no late fees, impossible to get late fees, right? Because when you're done with it, you return it. However, what they don't say is if you close your account and don't return the DVDs that you had mailed out to you, they will then
instantly become a debt.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So that's what happened. I had forgotten. It was one of those subscriptions. Loved a subscription. Got I can get 6 DVDs out of the time. It came from Perth. Jeez. That's how far the DVD.
And it also came in the mail, which is the problem. Yeah, shit gets lost.
And
it
was
the
DVD. That's another.
DVDs were like $60.
Yeah,
sure.
Oh no, DVDs were 20. Disney was 60. It wasn't actually that long ago. It would have been 2010.
But there was a point before you could buy DVDs where you could only just rent them.
Really?
I think it was they cost a lot. Videos used to cost a lot as well. Before, you could buy them. The rental commodities, yeah.
Do you remember Disney actually? I remember Mum got Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs on DVD, and she said that Disney.
Who for?
Who's it for? What's it for?
Yeah, who was it for, Lynn? And what was it for?
I don't know. The reason she bought it though was because she said Disney are only making this available on DVD every 20 years.
Yeah, they put them. So Disney has a thing called the Vault.
Okay.
To make their copies of their DVDs more, worth more money, they release them on video or DVD, and then they take them off shelves for 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
And then when it comes out, people rush out and buy them again.
Yeah. And recently, there was something that happened with that recently.
I think Disney's launching a streaming service. So all of them will be available on Disney Plus, I think it's called. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I heard something about closing the vault.
Yeah, that was closing
the vault on all of the previous stuff. Okay. All right. Leon. I don't know. I feel strange. No. You've met Mr. 97 for the first time.
Yes.
First impressions of the young man.
See a lot of myself in him. He's a EP in the making. But very meek, I would say the word. Shy? Meek?
Meek? When I think of meek, I think if my hand was
soft. If someone, I think you shake my hand, it'd be like this. It'd be like a dead fish. I feel like that's
I didn't
meek.
say that. He had a firm handshake.
No. That's my version of meek.
I would use in sort of a more sort of like me slapping you in a face with a fish.
I feel like meek is like a shy, reserved person. They sort of observing and waiting for the right time.
97. Can you look up the word meek for us? How would you even spell that?
MEEK.
Meek.
Yeah.
I feel like because you can spell it, you're in a better chance of us than us.
I am. No, I think he's a lovely guy. He's compared to you two, he's very quiet.
No, true.
97.
It's quiet, gentle, and easily imposed on. Submissive.
Easily imposed on. Absolutely. Baby is very easily imposed on.
Since he's met us, he's tried wine, he's tried beer,
and today,
Fat
Fat Fridays. Hey, can you get those fucking dumplings out of the plastic bag? It's giving me anxiety.
No, hang on. Steamed dumplings are fine because they're continuing to be steamed. This is not hot chips, Josh. It's not like the plastic bag hot chips.
Because that was the one, like at KFC, I don't know if they still do it, but they would use plastic bags. And the big...
Oh, yeah.
Basically, when the Jansons would go through the KFC...
When the Jansons had a night in the town.
Yeah. Richard Janssen would be like, get the fucking chips out of the... Like, that was the first thing.
You don't want a sweaty chip.
Absolutely
You do not want a sweaty chip.
Not a soggy chip.
So today, we've literally just gone to get dumplings because Mr. 97 has never had a dumpling.
Outrageous.
How many dumplings would have you had?
You know what they look like. Is this a weird... Okay, yeah, cool. I don't know. You were saying before this, you're intent on 100 dumplings.
Yeah, I was, but then I got there.
Which is excessive. And it's a lot.
I realised that 100 is excessive, so we've gone for about 36.
Well, the thing is that Tommy will say these things without much thought, but he has to be careful what he says because I will hold him to account.
Yeah,
if we went to like a dumpling restaurant in the city, you get like an 18 as like the minimum, right?
Yeah.
Whereas this was like...
I don't think you do. I think you get 8 to 12 pieces.
Nah, there's a place I go to.
Well, is that Shanghai?
Yeah, there's one of those at Shanghai
dumplings.
Or there's one in Malvern, 18 pieces.
Could we do some sort of...
literally just get pork dumplings and that's it.
And that's a minimum?
Well, yeah, so it's like, there's no... Here you could get 6 or 12. I was like, 9 or 12. I was like, no chance. I want 18.
Hi at thedailytalkshow.com. Which one do you think that place is that has an 18 minimum?
I know 100%.
Malvern,
the one in Malvern Road. Can't remember the name.
18 seems like a lot. What if you just went in by yourself? Like 18 is a lot for one person.
Can you write that down?
It's only $11.
I'll check that out on the show.
Because you want to go there or because you want to prove me wrong?
No, I want to prove you wrong. And I think
but if you do prove me wrong, go there at least because they are great dumplings.
Now, you mentioned the other day on the podcast dumplings, which are amazing. These are these dumplings that have, like, there's meat pie dumplings, mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Like they're good. They're
modern
next level.
day.
But I
dumplings.
didn't want to, like,
It's a
I
novelty.
want his
They're great,
first
though.
time to be
of
just your classic shitty joint,
Yeah.
and you get the dumplings.
So what did you get?
So I got pan-fried dumplings. I got these,
in them, though?
pork and vegetarian.
Pork,
steam
vegetarian.
ones. I think he needs to try steam to start with.
Yeah.
Mr. 97, can you come in? I actually
Yeah.
give you my spot.
How
This is
do-
how much I want you to.
How does one eat a dumpling? I just put the whole thing in
'Cause
my
I'm-
mouth.
I did that as well.
Yeah.
I did that as well.
Yeah. Gotta be careful.
Oh,
if
are
it's
you
too
going to
hot.
start with? No, I think
It's
start
done.
with the steamed. Start with the pork, the one in the middle. Okay, here we go. So Mr. 97, he's
Let me
using
just figure out how to
chopsticks.
use this.
Here we go. I'm not good with chopsticks. So I'm not going to.
You know what? They're hard with chopsticks as well because they just fall apart.
We'll give him one more go with the
There we
chop.
go. Oh, no, you're almost there.
quicker, get in your mouth.
Describe it. Oh, I love that
He's
sound.
eating. So, do you
No,
really?
talk now. I love when people talk and eat.
That was good.
That was a pork one.
Yeah, try the
I suppose.
vegetarian one now. Yeah, he doesn't know.
I got no
I think
idea.
that's a
Some
veggie.
sort of
Try
meat.
the
Yeah,
veggie
try
one.
the veggie.
Use his hand. No.
No, I got it.
No, this
Gotta be
no.
gentle. You
Oof,
gotta be
you got to
gentle
eat
with
all. You can't. If you get two, you just have to eat them. Here we go. He's eating a vegetarian one. I'm just curious.
First one was better.
That was quick. I don't even know if the filling hit your mouth before you were able to tell. Baby doesn't like veggies.
It's very weird when you say that.
He actually loves vegetables,
Mm.
don't you?
Mm. Yeah, the pork one's good.
Now the shit's out of the way. Go to a
Yeah.
fried one.
Why did we get any steam? To be honest,
Well, you don't put it in there.
Is that soy sauce
That's
or is
better.
that the That's the vinegar one.
this
he
is good.
freaked out. He's like, oh, vinegar. I was like, mate, it's not white vinegar.
Okay.
Tastes like it.
Oh, vinegar. What do you mean? Oh, you can. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right. Yeah. Have one, and then I've got something else I want you to do for us. Yeah. Is that okay? This is making great podcast audio material.
The first one
Yeah.
is the best.
So steamed pork.
Steamed pork is
Yeah.
better than even the. Can we have one now, please? Very, very quickly. What I wanted to do, Mr. 97. Could you please do us a favour? And so when I said to Leon, I want to have you on the show, Leon. One of the main reasons was because it was going to conclude one of the biggest arcs that we've ever done on the show, which was the walkie-talkie arc.
You've forgotten the name, wasn't it? CB Club or something?
The
Was it
3 Kilometre Club?
3 Kilometre Club?
So the 3 Kilometre
Good cut
Club,
through memory.
I said if you're in within 3 kilometres of where we do the show,
Yes.
let us know because we want to give you a walkie-talkie and to test out to see how it works.
Yeah.
You live just down the road.
Yes. Yep.
I reckon probably 400 metres line of sight.
Yeah, probably.
Mm.
And let's not get into distance again because that was frustrating to listen to.
Did you know?
Because he'll be that's why he
Did
wants
you
to
know-
prove me wrong with the dumpling thing. Because I proved him really wrong.
Yeah.
Because it was actually 42 metres from.
Yeah. So
anyway,
yeah, probably 400.
400. Anyway, but we didn't get there because the walkie-talkie thing was a nightmare.
Yeah.
However, we have the walkie-talkies.
Yep.
And I thought maybe, Mr. 97, what we can get you to do is when it came to the dumplings,
Yeah.
what did I say that they were sort of reminded me of a little bit?
Again,
I
great.
got no
radio.
idea.
What did I say?
Oh,
said dim sims.
Dim Sims. Yeah,
Dim
yeah.
Sims. And you've never had a dim sim.
No, never had a dim sim.
So what I was thinking is, can you please pass the walkie-talkies?
Are we sending him out on a mission?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We're going to send him out. I'm just going to turn on. Can you please put it on channel 1? Just do a radio check, please. Yeah.
Radio check, 1, 2, radio check.
Don't do the number thing. But that was good.
What? Why not? What does 1 2 mean?
1 2 is like he's an audio engineer on a concert. You don't say 1 2.
Rubber ducky? Is that what you were?
Radio check, please. Radio check. Why did it stop? Did you stop something there?
Nah,
If- all right, I'm not going to waste any more time on the walkie-talkie. One last time.
Seems to happen every time.
Radio check.
Doesn't work. We fucked it.
What have
He
you
hasn't.
done?
He hasn't charged it.
No.
They're
I
dead?
definitely have charged it.
Is it dead?
I'm going to give it one more go.
This is the last
It's a
time.
97 turn it off, pretend it doesn't
check,
do
please.
anything for
radio
you.
Radio. Yeah, great.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. 97, can you go? Can we give him a card or something
Yeah.
so he doesn't have to use his
My
own money?
thing over there.
Does he? He can pay pass.
You can
Oh,
pay
that's going to
pass.
have a minimum probably $10 at these
That's right.
rates.
Where's
do
he
what
going?
you need to do.
So, Mr. 97,
Yeah.
can you please go to the closest dim sim place?
Yeah, down to the end of Easy Street, turn right, and then it's like the first faux roll place you'll see. Go in there.
Okay, and can you please also walkie-talkie when you get just out of the building? Thank you. Just say...
Yeah, Daddy needs updates.
Can you just say, baby boy, can you just say...
Baby boy calling in. Baby's checking in.
Baby checking in. Okay, thank you.
This is great.
Glad
But how about that? Not
You
even
pay him, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Can you believe it?
So he's laughing.
You've only just moved into this neighbourhood.
Yes. Well, no, actually, I was renting here
Oh, that's right.
just around the corner, and I've just moved.
He was quick. Thanks, baby. Over. Can just make sure. Can you hear me? Over.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Well, at least we know his side's working.
You could use the phone.
Yeah, that's okay. But can you hear me? Over.
He can. That's why he responded and said, Jesus, that's why it doesn't sound so good.
You just
Leon's
press,
getting
I'm
bored.
just going to have another dumpling.
You
I
just
don't
press
mind.
the call button. Try again without pressing the call button. Over. All right. Anyway, fuck
we'll
it.
just have it coming
The
in.
walkie-talkie thing annoys the fuck out of me.
We learnt it though.
But the thing is that I think it's because they're shit. If you would have let me hire some proper good Unigen
If Uni
ones.
didn't actually got back to us,
Anyway.
then it would have been a different story.
doesn't
Have you ever had something seriously fail before we get to your movie and story? Like on the Fifi, Fev and Byron show, have you had something fail?
Like something on the show.
I just like this kind of stuff. Like, I think the difference is you guys, there's a lot of money riding on what you're doing.
I think I can't think of like a proper example, but on the show, I think we embrace shitness. Like, if things go wrong, a lot of other shows want to be smick and like really, professional. And then if something goes wrong, it's a huge issue. But with us, if something goes wrong, we talk about it on air and own it because then it's funny and endearing and. I can't think of. There has been a lot of things.
Is that a conscious decision? Is that from the powers that be above?
Yeah, kind of.
Down,
We've had conversations just that releases. It's
Yeah, he's checking in. That's him checking in. He may have stumbled and accidentally pressed it, but he checked in.
Yeah, there was a walkie-talkie there.
Yeah, I can't think of any
Big fuck ups.
Big fuck ups. Actually, when I was on a different show called Dan and Maz, which was a drive show, we did the show out of Melbourne, but it was a national show around Australia. And we had one time that we, I think you might have been involved in this. Were you around for Pamela Vanderson?
Oh, yeah. And there was one in Bondi. You sent it to Bondi.
We had essentially for a company, we had a van that we bought and we did it up and we got to name it and paint it. And essentially we let it drive around Australia and people could hire it out. So like I've got a wedding, I need to get there, or, I've got a prom or whatever it is. And people could, what are you smirking at?
I just thought it was funny. Prom.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It's a very American, I suppose, what a deb, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That the movie or the TV show, The In-Betweeners, the UK comedy
Yes,
show,
yes.
the sequel to that movie was the premiere was happening in the Gold Coast, and we got in touch with the film company and said, "Hey, we've got this van. It's very Australian. Do you want us to pick the guys up and drop them at the premiere?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure. And we'll do an interview and record it and that sort of stuff."
The actors?
The actors, the cast, so the four.
That's great.
The four cast, and then the director was just going to be sitting in the front.
Who was driving?
One of your friends, Tom.
Oh, Tom Bell.
His
Yeah,
job was to
Tommy
drive
Bell.
it around
That's
the
right.
country.
That's right.
So he had the driver in the front, and we had the director in the passenger seat, and then we had the four cast members, and then Dan and Maz, the host. So they would conduct the interview during the drive, drop them off. Great promotion for us, etc.
Closing the loop, the Bondi thing, I remember now. Tom, when I was living in Bondi, called me. He's like, "Bro, I'm driving this fucking van. I'm going to be in Bondi. If
Need a lift
around,
anyway?
If you're around, I'll come grab you." It didn't end up happening, but
Well.
that's where the Bondi thing came in.
But we picked up the cast, and because there was no room for any other sort of audio producers or digital producers, we had it all set up, running, ready to go.
Yeah.
They took a while to come down from the hotel. They finally got in. They got stuck in traffic.
Oh, no.
And something happened. So either way, there was a few issues. So the audio stopped after 5 minutes.
Oh, no.
The video stopped after 5 minutes.
You using GoPros or something?
Yeah, we had GoPros. So all we had was a GoPro at the front that just had the driver, Tom, your mate Tom,
Sweating.
who looks like a homeless man.
At the
And the
yeah,
director
big
of the
beard.
film.
Oh, he's got the dim sims very quick. What type of dim sims? Over?
They look pretty crispy. They don't look like the normal soft dim sims.
Fried would be crispy.
Yeah.
Have they got meat inside?
Yes.
Well, no one knows what's inside a dim sim.
I think so.
Think so.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Don't ask him
Get fried
thanks-
and esteemed.
Yeah,
Can't ask a guy who's never had a dim sim about the
did
dim sim details.
Did you get fried over?
I've got 4 of them.
The crispy ones.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, crispy ones over.
Great.
Mission complete over.
He's going to make it back first.
It's getting really choppy. It's cutting out.
Don't worry,
No,
we're done.
This is where you just stop talking. This is your problem. You stop. You just asked a question, but hardly even asked a question. You said, "All right, all done."
Okay, I'm all done.
Long story
Thanks,
short,
mate. Over.
we didn't have any of the interview footage from the in-betweeners, just a grainy video of your mate driving the director of this film and not talking.
Embracing that shitness though would be quite funny.
Oh, we absolutely did.
So you talked about it.
We talked about that. That's always been for some reason I like to embrace the shitness.
Yeah.
That's a
Gotta.
lot.
What's the other option?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is to try and hide
you
it
try and
and then
bury it, and it just
look
people can
shitter.
tell.
This-
Yeah,
it smells more.
Oh,
Is there a show-
Spreads it around.
Is there a show that you're willing to out that actually does the opposite? Because
Jesus.
no, only
Jesus
because I feel like it's lots of radio stations are trying to take
Oh,
the
he
piss
was
of
super
themselves.
quick.
Yeah.
No, I can't really think of any others. Like, I think most people should actually do that.
Yeah,
most
yeah.
shows. Yeah.
Probably like the Ryan Seacrests and shit are
Yeah,
probably
those sort
not.
of overly produced,
Oh, he's
countdown shows.
Sorry, he's got the best. You've done well, son. You've got the South Melbourne Market dim sims. Look at the
Yeah.
size of that.
Oh,
They're terrifying.
Do
Can
we
you just
get
come
one-
at least here and just take your first bite
He
and
said-
then rack off?
Yeah.
He said we got 4, so that means we get 1 each.
Yeah, there you go, Mr.
All right, here we go.
Seven.
There's no
The,
7.
mic-
Just a
microphone.
big bite into the
Yeah,
microphone.
into the
No,
mic.
into the
Into
microphone,
the
you
mic.
animal.
Not
Oh, we
that
couldn't
That
hear
wasn't
it.
as good.
That was more into
All right, now
Tommy's
go.
shoulder.
We'll go. We'll
and
talk
then,
to you.
yeah, we'll talk about it over there. Can I-
Whoever wants one can have
Yeah,
one.
thank you. Do you want help yourself first, Leon?
Here you go.
So,
Thank you.
did anyone get in trouble for that though? Like,
Actually, yeah, that was a weekend where there was no bosses around for some reason. There was a big conference, and I made the executive decision as the executive producer to go up there, and they weren't a fan of it. And then something happened in our host. We had a big night to celebrate, or commiserate what happened, and he had a few drinks, fell over and knocked his head, ended up in hospital.
Oh, no.
It was a rough night, and yeah. So.
Dan DeBoof, we've had on the show.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
If you have him again, ask him to tell that story. He owes me a night in hospital.
oh, so you hit your head?
No, he hit his
Oh,
head.
he
But
hit
you
his-
actually,
But we had to take him to the hospital because,
Nah.
like, he literally fell backwards on the corner of a sharp table.
Oh, jeez.
And
Who
there was a
pushed
chunk
him?
of skin and hair. It was a big one.
So you've moved in close by.
Yes, I have moved in close by. Yeah.
Funnily enough, I feel like maybe I like to think of it as a character. The character that I played at Fifi and Jules was an annoying.
Is that a character?
It was. I'm going to say.
Josh
I'm
has
gonna
this
say-
blurred line between
the annoying character,
life,
yeah.
the person he is in life, and then it's all for content.
It's all for content.
Always be
And
contenting.
all
It's
ABC.
ABC.
Do you know how many people say ABC now from this listening to you on this show?
Really?
Yeah.
Happy about that.
Yeah. Type in
ABC,
ABC.
guys.
No, I'm
Always
saying
be
find out when
contenting.
he was on the show.
Okay.
He's a
Oh, yeah,
fucking-
that's
he's
right.
the EP. He can't do shit around here.
He's not the
Except
EP.
I'll do it
Yeah.
later on, don't worry.
Unless he's 100. If it's EP 130, then he can be.
Then he's EP.
Oh,
Just
yeah, good
very-
point.
On a side note, do you think that Mr. 97 would be able to sit in on one of your shows just to watch you
Yeah,
work?
to learn how an EP
Yeah.
works.
Actually does his job.
Would you? Is that something
Yeah,
you could make happen?
Of course.
This
Making
Mr.
dreams
97,
come true.
Would you like to?
Podcast.
Would you like to sit
Yeah,
in?
that'd be amazing.
You see,
Yeah.
what's happened there is you've asked before, you've asked because he probably has no interest, and now you've just thrown him under the bus.
I feel like Mr. 97 loves firsts.
Oh, 124.
124. Overreaction again. 124 though. That's
pretty good though.
That's actually closer.
Because you know what happened?
You went away.
We recorded a lot before you went away.
and I put that is so. So I fucked up. I'm sorry.
I was filler.
Yeah, it was a prime time Friday spot. But no, I played an annoying character within our team.
No, you were the guy. That's you, Josh.
He's a method actor.
Yeah, it's probably it is a blurred line because I didn't do much on air content, so you could say
Do you
that I was
honestly-
just
do you
an-
honestly-
pants.
I did piss my pants.
Did you honestly think you were being a character, or is that just hindsight's crystal clear?
I think that there's an element where it's like I'm just going to be myself, and it seems to rattle a few people.
But then
and I'm
that's
just
you,
gonna-
dude.
Yeah,
That's not- so you were being you.
yeah. But I was being unapologetically me. So when
so you should
when-
be being
you.
Yeah,
You're
when
not a
Byron
character.
would be annoyed, when anyone would be annoyed, I'd be like, "That's just me."
Yeah.
But for some reason, it was a bit of I was pigeonholed into that character, which just so happens to be me.
Okay.
And so it was an annoying characteristic when you just moved into your new place and I texted and like, hey, bro, I'm out the front. I'm checking out apartments in your building.
it was moving day. And this guy was literally out the front just watching me move in. You should offer to help.
I did. I think
you.
I helped with one plastic box.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's called Tupperware. And it's 40 centimetres.
It's a little bit like that. No, but got to meet the
Well,
parents.
because you were inspecting
Yeah.
an apartment in my building.
Yeah. So we
Which
were
I actually thought, is this a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, I was
Josh's
I was a
neighbour.
Povo renter. I was very impressed that you bought, this is your first.
Yeah.
Hang on. This guy's had a job for 10 years with the company. You've been working with
Just
Southern
10
Cross?
years with that company. Yeah. Southern Cross Austereo.
It must make
yeah.
it so much easier when it comes to like getting a mortgage and shit because they're like,
Oh, yeah. You'd think so. Surely.
You'd think so.
Hopefully.
Well, was it easy?
Yeah, it was kind of easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how many places, because we spoke to Christian Hull when
Yeah.
we had him on about
Oh,
buying
yeah. I was speaking to him
places.
about this as well.
What's the process in buying a place for someone in their early 30s?
Getting the paperwork done first or pre-approvals done before looking, because you find somewhere you like and then I found a place I liked and I didn't have the paperwork ready and I missed it.
Oh, no.
But it worked out well because it was in that building, same building, and the new one I've got is a lot better.
So do you get a certain amount? Do you say like if your apartment's worth 300,000?
Yeah, you got to
or whatever?
work out a bit of maths of like. I actually spoke to a financial advisor who, Jules, your mate, has used, and Sam Cave and a few others as well.
Oh, yeah. Anthony McDonald.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out
He's
to
great.
Anthony.
We're doing
Anthony's
last
great.
night. Fuck, you're doubling
Dude, he's
down.
got a business.
No, Anthony McDonald, Port Finance. Anthony McDonald is great.
No, he's
awesome.
a legend. He's also, I was a big fan of him playing for the Melbourne Football Club. I've caught up with him to talk about video stuff. And I was like, fuck, here he is.
And what
I used
was-
to watch this guy as a kid.
What did he teach you about the whole process? What was a big thing?
Planning.
How do you plan?
It's turned into a financial podcast.
Yeah, this is. We couldn't get Barefoot Investor on, so we've got Leon Sjogren to give us secondhand knowledge. It's really good though. How many? Show us the jam. You got the jam jars.
No, it was just looking at like budgeting, how much you spend each week and how much you can save, as opposed, and also, it's essentially it's getting the deposits. The hardest part is it saving.
Yeah.
Can I not eat?
Nah.
It's,
No, you can eat.
I'll just finish the
So
juice here.
when I last Christmas I was at a Christmas party having Christmas party chat with someone I didn't know who was a financial advisor, and I was like, oh, what's happening at the moment? How's the market? Or something, like just asking random questions. It's
How's
like-
the market?
Then I was like, is it harder to borrow these days? He's like, it's so much harder. Everyone at our firm recently who own properties, who got funding for them in Australia, did the test or declared everything that they need to declare. No one passed.
It's hard. I end up getting, because even though I had the money, I had to get backing from my parents just from their house, because if anything went wrong, they'll take my parents' house now. So it's not my
So
problem.
so you got a guarantor, which
Guarantor, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
obviously his parents hadn't read Barefoot because they don't recommend going guarantor.
Oh, really?
He doesn't recommend.
What are you meant to do then?
Well, this is the thing. It's
What's the thing?
It's
You
so
gotta
nice
say,
that your
but that's-
parents
that's
have
it,
gone
yeah.
guarantor, and I don't think you're someone who's going to just fucking
No,
lose
exactly.
the plot.
And that's the thing. It's the kind of thing where in 2 years' time, they can just go, cool, take them off. There's enough proof that I'm making income to.
I thought you
Yeah.
meant take away their house. Take it off. Take their house.
Steal their super.
Can they access the super? I'm guessing they can. Maybe.
There is
No,
some,
they can.
there-
But we made sure, to tick, just, certain things.
Oh, really?
There's only a certain amount of their house.
Like the asset. Oh, great.
Yeah.
So you just
Just the living room.
Bulldozer come in. Just the couch. Just
Yeah.
gonna have to downgrade the couch.
Are you owning or renting?
Nah.
Renting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a renter. That's,
Yeah, I'm a renter as well.
rent money's dent money. I think.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fucked.
But it's all right.
It is fucked, but the place I live in, like if I literally if I had saved and been better earlier in life, I would be able to own or at least be paying. I've lived in the same place for 4 years.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
That's my mortgage, what I'm paying.
You were talking about having to have like proof, like a budget sort of thing, or like planning.
Yeah.
Did you work out how much you spend on alcohol a week?
No, I didn't work out an official number.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
But
put
did you
that
have
in
entertainment.
entertainment.
Yeah. It's like, oh my god, how many movies do you go to? You're spending
a lot.
$4,000.
Yeah. No, a lot.
And so tell us what was the process in the end? What was the big learning of it all?
I can give you I can give you a tip.
Okay, I like tips.
that I got. So I bought in a brand new apartment building, and so a lot of people buy these off plan. So there's an empty lot. And they said there's going to be 3 years time there'll be a nice apartment building built. You can do like a bit of a deposit, and in 3 years time you pay up. So this building is just finished, and they showed me an apartment in there because someone was backing out of a sale. They changed their mind. But
they were they were buying.
So they
off
bought
the
off
plan?
the plan a few years ago. They said, "Yep, here's my $25,000 deposit," and then it got down to settlement date, and either they couldn't afford it, or the bank didn't approve their loan, or they changed their mind. They lose their deposit, $25,000.
Really? So they lost their 25.
So they lost that. And at this point, the building just wants to sell, sell that building and get rid of it. So I just came in and said, "I'll give you this amount." So essentially, what they were selling it minus 25.
You're like those shows where they, sell off like a storage unit and you
Storage
just get
wars.
Storage wars.
yeah.
Pawnbrokers.
Yeah, you get whatever's in there.
I did. Got an apartment.
So it was on the plan. You knew exactly what was in there.
Well, the thing was as well, because a lot of these people don't get to see what it looks like until it's finished.
Yeah.
But I got to go in and see what they look like completed. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it worked well. So if you look around like at other brand new buildings and ask the developers and go, hey, if anyone backs out of the sale,
Anyone
let me know.
under financial
Yeah.
stress?
Who's under
Yeah.
pressure? Just have a sign at the front. Who's under pressure? We'll take it off your hands.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So there's a tip.
Slightly depressing also.
but you were,
you
But
won.
look, there's a positive side for me.
but you were positive side aside, you were telling me that the whole experience has been a bit of a clusterfuck.
I love my apartment. It's great.
One
but
bedroom.
One bedroom apartment, west facing. So I face the city. Great view of the city, sunset.
This is how you know if someone owns.
You
know the north, the west.
Oh
the
yeah,
east.
I never knew my
Yeah.
directions until I owned this apartment.
I was in the.
Where's the sunrise from, mate?
The east.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what am I? Do you know what I'm if I'm facing
I don't know
on to
where
Smith
you're-
Street?
You're facing on the Smith Street.
Yeah.
You're west facing.
Is that good?
worth
Is
more.
that where
Yep.
you are?
Yep.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter if it's worth more because we don't own it. But we did.
Sorry, that means you're probably paying more.
Yeah, exactly. For the view. But the when I was in the lift, a guy said, "Oh, where are you? West facing?"
It's a very
whatever.
good point. I've never thought about.
So you're west now.
And then I was
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this guy's like he owns. But then Bree and I said, because the way that our thing's designed, you sort of can see the city as well. So I said, oh, we're like city facing.
Yeah.
But then he sort of shut us down. Like, oh, okay. But I was expecting more, like him saying that. Like, what was the reaction gonna be? Oh,
I
my
don't
God,
know.
that's good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yesterday, Instagram went down, Facebook went
Yep,
down.
yep.
What happened on your show? How did you cover that one?
It happened
cover it?
after the show.
You didn't
so
cover it.
we were fine. Covered it a bit today, but
We haven't gotten to the clusterfuck though. Sorry, I'd interrupted Leon. There's been clusterfucks in the apartment,
yes,
hasn't
no, there has to the point where I threatened legal action today,
Oh, Jesus.
which I'm not going to follow up with it. I'm just trying to scare them a bit. But
What does that mean?
I might, maybe, I don't know.
Wait, so did you get lawyers involved?
Not yet.
Okay.
I just sent a very angry email.
And you
I've
said
sent a few already.
I'm looking at legal.
Yeah, I said I'm looking into legal action.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the building, there's a car park lift. So there's 3 car park levels.
Stackers. Is there
No, not a
stackers or
stacker.
lifts?
It's a lift. So you drive your car in and you go basement 1, 2, or 3, and it drives you. So it's a big lift.
That's
Only
And
one
just-
car at a time.
One car at a time. There's
Great.
2 lifts. So you drive your car in, it takes you down, and then you drive out.
Yeah.
So, it's not like a stacker. I thought it was going to be a stacker. But so when I moved in, only one of the car lifts was working. The other one was broken. And I spoke to a few of the other residents, and they said, hasn't been working for 2.5 months. It's like, okay, that's fair. Started using it, and I've only been there for 3 or 4 weeks, but there's been issues where it keeps breaking down.
Oh, no.
So when it breaks down, people's cars are stuck in there. So I get up early for work, and at that time in the morning, there's no transport. So I've one time turned up and I couldn't get my car out of the lift. So
No.
I've gone.
What time in the morning is this?
It's like almost 4.
And so you're stuck in this thing. So
Well,
you're,
no. So the car is in the car park.
Yeah.
But so I can't
It's
get
just
the
not
car
even
out.
working. You can't even get
can't
to
even
the
it
top.
out.
Yeah.
Or I've had, and this is happening a lot now. I've had times I've driven back home and the car park is closed, so I can't park my car in there.
Oh, that's even
so I've got to
worse.
park it on the street.
And you get fined. Have you gotten a fine yet? I hope you're
I've
getting them
got
all.
one fine. I've
Okay.
kept the fine.
Great.
And I'm keeping all the Uber receipts and the taxi receipts and stuff.
Uber Eats. Every time I get mad, I order a pizza.
I was fucking trapped. I felt trapped.
There have been people getting trapped in the lift
that's
for over an hour. So
that's
last night, there was a woman trapped in there for over an hour, and they brought someone out to fix it, and they said, yeah, it's fixed. And then this morning, someone else was trapped in there again. And it's beyond a point where I'm like, I get it. My car's stuck. I'll get to work somehow. But I don't want to be stuck in that lift.
Yeah, fuck that.
There was one guy that got stuck in there for over 2 hours and the fire brigade came eventually. And it's now at a point where I go, I spent the most amount of money I'll ever spend for a brand new building and it keeps fucking up. At what point do you start going...
I was going to say you might spend more on the legal action.
Well, that's it. And I don't think I will have a chance with legal action. But it's like, fuck, come on.
Yeah.
Do you get phone reception in that lift?
No. So there's an emergency phone button. So it calls the lift company to send someone out. But, they're taking their sweet ass time.
So I had this situation, older apartment block, a lift that actually failed and we were in the lift and it was tiny. I'm talking like, like half the size of this table and maybe out to here. So a metre and a half by a metre and a half, tiny little lift. And me and 2 other mates got stuck in this lift in St Kilda in an old shitty apartment block on
old
Grey
ones
Street.
are scary.
Yeah, it's horrible. When I was
New ones are as well.
when I was in Paris, a lift that was no joke half the size.
I've been in those ones, yeah.
Oh, I actually decided for like 5 things of stairs, huge. It was like fucking so annoying with our bags. But I was like, I can't go in there. And I'm not even claustrophobic. But we got stuck in it. So we called and got pizza delivered because we're like, we could get pizza. But how do they get it
in?
It came later. So we'd already got out. We just ended up, here's the dumb thing. We ended up just chiseling open the door, opening up the door and we could slide out, but it was dodgy.
Yeah.
But the pizza didn't arrive. We had this idea that it was going to come, they were going to slide it through, and the time that we checked that it was that we could get it slid through was that we could get out. But it was fucked. It's a horrible feeling.
Yeah.
It'd be okay in your car. Inconvenient
I think that as well.
But okay.
Yeah, my worry is they say turn off your car because the fumes just start.
That's horrible.
Yeah, that would be a nightmare. That'd be something I would forget.
Absolutely.
I'm feeling rather lightheaded.
Yeah, you do.
Help.
Yeah. Just
Help.
Insta stories not published because no reception.
Yeah.
Just go.
When they recover your body, those stories go live.
But the thing is, I'd be doing like car karaoke. I'd be having the engine on.
Carpool karaoke.
Because I think it's the only way to have the whole speaker system going. Hey, nice before I met you. And you could imagine the newspapers, right? The final post. Right? It's a bit dark.
It's very dark.
It's a bit of a nightmare.
And you were thinking front cover of the paper, weren't you?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I reckon when it comes to the whole lift thing, an hour's not good enough to be a great story.
An hour is a fucking long time.
It's a long time.
It's
If you say I was in a lift
I
for an
think
hour.
10 minutes is long.
What about if you're in a lift with 25 people?
Who's
And it
in
was
a
for
lift
an
for
hour?
25?
Like if you were at a big corporate centre, they're like fucking
Yeah, they jam them in, yeah.
huge lifts.
I feel like, could you imagine if it was like 10 hours? Because then you've got like a real story. If when you start a new business and they say, hey, this is Josh.
But what's happening now is every time I drive in and out of the car park, I'm going, is this the time it gets me? Yeah. And last night I was driving here and I was like, fuck, I really need to take a shit. I was busting to go to the toilet. And I thought, I was like, if I drive in here and I get stuck, there's not much room for me if I had to just go, where am I doing this? I'm not doing it in my car.
I think you'd make it work out the window. You'd have
to really prove a point to them
You'd
as well.
have to.
Guys, your lift is broken and also there's a turd in there.
In fact, do it anyway.
Good point.
Send them an invoice for a whole new seat. You just have to chuck the whole thing out, potentially.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
apart from that, it's great.
How do you know that people are getting, like, how are you keeping in contact with all the people within the building?
There's a Facebook group in the apartment building of all the people in there, which is great.
I only heard about these from when Josh lived in an apartment.
I only realised this recently when I moved in. Yeah,
Bree was still part of the one, like our old building, and she would like give us updates. Like, there's
really?
issues. There's issues.
So I had artificial turf installed on my balcony last week.
Yeah.
And
what do you mean installed? Don't you literally just buy the turf from Bunnings?
You can buy it and cut it, but it can look shit. Like this is proper, like landscapers measure it so it fits around everything properly, and they put it down properly so put filter in it so it stays. Yeah.
Whole apartment
doesn't get mold underneath.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. It doesn't fade, all that. So and I didn't realize they put sand on it because it's filters, so the rain can go through it and keep it clean. So they put the sand down and they sort of mow it into the lawn and push it down with this brush. And then they used a blower just to blow the excess sand off. And then over the weekend, there was a message on the Facebook group saying, guys, have you noticed all this sand all over the balcony? It's all of my chair, my furniture, and the plants and stuff.
Oh, no.
And someone else has written, "Oh yeah, it's on mine as well. I'm like apartment blah blah blah," and they were above it. So I just wrote, "Yeah, it's on mine too." Like, technically, it is, but
absolutely it was.
I didn't think about that there would be sand.
Do you know what happens with bins? Because our apartment block has a lot of bins, and they magically get from like downstairs to upstairs.
It's different in all
What
apartment
kind of
blocks.
bins? What do you mean?
Like big industrial bins that like every level has a bin.
Oh, so we've got a chute where you drop the trash
Are
down.
you close to the chute?
It's towards the end, which I kind of like.
You don't want to be too close to the chute.
Your
Yeah.
apartment block has a manager. Someone's doing that for you.
I've got a manager. Yeah, every building should have a manager.
Except like older buildings don't. We've
Mr.
just got people in the building that
We've got a
help
big
out.
industrial bins downstairs where the chutes are.
Do you do the recycling thing? Do you separate
Yes.
things?
Yeah. The chute has recycling chutes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Mr. 97 was over a couple of days ago and we moved. I got him to pick up all these boxes with me, all this rubbish because we'd just moved in.
Yeah.
And we went to the bin room, but the bins were gone. Do you, A, bring all the rubbish back and wait for the bins, or B, leave it in the bin room?
I would leave it in the bin room.
Yeah, okay.
You both gronks.
We
If
left
that's
it in
what
the
you-
bin room, yeah.
That's
Why, what would you do?
Gronk move. Take it back to your apartment because then it becomes someone else's problem.
Well, that's what I was
It's the
thinking.
definition of a
It
gronk.
is the building manager's problem where the bins are.
Yeah, but you've got to just take it back to your apartment.
Well,
it's-
there was a no hard rubbish sign
Because
on
if
the
that
ground.
was everybody's
Yeah, I understand that would get real
everybody's
crazy.
choice,
Yeah.
it would be
But where do you put the
disgusting.
bins? Where'd the bins go?
So
be
that-
emptied.
They were being emptied.
Yeah. So
How long
that was
does it
on a
take them to be
Wednesday.
emptied?
Fuck, a day and a half.
Yeah, because you got to take them down in the morning.
That's what I was
before
wondering.
Someone then.
Well, you've got a shit building manager.
Who's
you
doing
should
it?
have a rubbish company come collect
Really?
them.
Maybe should I send a legal action? Maybe
I'll
I
do
could.
it for you.
Maybe I could.
Is he on the
send-
Facebook group? Have you got a
I
Facebook group for your?
No, I'm not on Facebook
Maybe you should
anymore.
start. Oh, there you go.
There is someone that does that at our apartment block.
Yeah.
Leaves it like there's a gate, and if the gate's closed,
I understand.
you
Like,
just, like, fucking
we've
throw
got
it off.
ones that put like uncrushed cardboard boxes and like heaps of hard rubbish down there.
Yeah, Josh is looking guilty.
No, I'm actually
You
very.
you crush it?
Mr. 97, can you attest the fact that Bree had crushed all the boxes?
Bree
before I
had,
took them?
of course.
No, it was all. It was just recycling.
Yeah.
Oh, if it was actual like proper rubbish, then I wouldn't have done
If it was nappies and shit, you wouldn't do it. But
Yeah.
What do you mean?
baby doesn't wear nappies anymore.
Why are you
Well,
throwing away nappies?
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, it's unless it was something that was real soiled and disgusting.
You
Then you
bagged
would
that
have
up. You bagged that up. It's a gronk
Well,
move.
it's
if you
like
don't.
when like you have like meat scraps or anything like like that. You put it in a bag, separate bag, tie that up, and
Yeah. No, I get it.
the panic in his eyes. Then
Yeah.
should
no,
I be
it's all-
doing that?
I think it'd be too much for you to own a place, Josh.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. But the thing is, I would get very into all the body corporate stuff.
Oh, I'm so into it, and also just like I've never been more careful with things in my home.
Yeah. Have
I'll
you
say,
been,
give it a year.
are you going to body corporate meetings? Have
I
you been
went to
one?
the first unofficial one a few weeks ago because there's a few issues in the building. So this whole Facebook group decided to have a meeting before our body corporates next week,
Yeah.
I think, where they vote in everyone. So we had a few people complaining about different things. Someone from the company that runs Body Corporate, Strata, they turned up to the meeting. They found out about it through Facebook.
Oh, sneaky little
turned
dogs.
up, and then someone actually pointed out and said, "You're not from this building."
Yeah, you have a
And he
Strata
had to
polo
go-
on.
He had a
Strata hat,
he had a
polo.
clipboard. so they had to ask him, and it was, and then we all had to vote whether we wanted him to stay or not.
No,
it was
and who
amazing.
what happened?
We all voted and said, "Yeah, sure," because he listened out to our problems, but it was pretty weird. Like just to like, it was a weird
So
situation.
how does he infiltrate the Facebook group?
Because he must have been visiting the building, and there was a thing in the lift saying, "Hey, the owners'
Yeah.
the residents' Facebook group."
Was it catered?
Oh yeah, was the
Someone bought M&Ms
Oh,
or
really?
Maltesers or something. Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah.
That's nice. Was it the Strata guy?
And you can tell. No, you can tell.
everyone
there's-
falls to the ground. He's fucking
There's-
poisoned the whole. Yeah.
There's one or two people in the residents that really just they're in charge.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they were running the meeting.
Yeah.
They loved it. They were reveling in it.
That would be Josh. If there was,
Yeah,
if it was,
I think I could play both parts. I think I would
which
probably.
character would you be? The guy from Fifi and Jules, or would you be a new version?
I think I'd probably think, I'm going to take a back seat, and then someone's going to say something, and I'm going to say, no, that's not how we're doing it. And then I'd probably, but I would
You'll
be,
cause a mutiny.
I'd be the type of guy to also cater.
Okay.
No,
Definitely.
you'd be the type of guy. Okay, so we've concluded everything. Everyone all good? Any last words?
Yeah.
Okay, just pulled out his list.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, just what you said back there, Becky.
Who's keeping minutes? Someone was keeping minutes in this meeting. It was
I'd be
great.
like, maybe should we get Asana, which is a piece of the project management tool that we can also be across using
Okay.
Trello.
Have you had any weird interactions with people in your building?
No.
They call him.
Actually, you know what?
They call him Sandman for
there's
some reason.
There's a really great like communal rooftop on the building, and
Great view. I got to see it.
yeah, there's really good view, and you can actually book. There's a kitchen up there with an oven and fridge. You can book like it's for a function room.
What is it called? It's a special kind of barbecue.
Communal space. Communal
No.
barbecue.
No, it's like
it's
a-
a teppanyaki grill.
Yeah.
Have you had teppanyaki?
Yeah, I've had.
okay.
Fucking look at this.
Wait, so is there
Smug.
actually one of the guys that go?
You don't have a chef there.
Okay.
It's essentially a barbecue.
Is that teppanyaki the one where they flick the
Yeah, but
eggs
they
every-
cut things and flick it at you.
Yeah, but
Imagine
what's
me doing
what
that
is
on your
the-
rooftop.
The teppanyaki grill, is it just is it a different burning
It's a-
process or something?
It's like a stainless steel one, so
Ah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
slide things off it and shit.
It just
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
looked like a barbecue that you'd see at like the park.
Yeah, that's it.
They've tried to do the
They've tried to
upsell.
make it sound fancy.
Is that what it is?
teppanyaki grill.
Is that literally what it is?
Pretty much.
Because the teppanyaki, I thought this is. I don't know.
You know what? I think
it
a
means.
teppanyaki is a different grill.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anyway,
So
Either
you-
way, so someone in like the first week I was there, actually the first day, the Saturday I was moving in, on the Facebook group, they said, "Hey guys, I've booked the whole rooftop for my party tonight. So just let you know, you can't really come up between 4 and 9 or whatever it was, or 5 and 9."
they do that.
And everyone was like, "Hold up, what do you like? You can't book the whole fucking rooftop."
We don't even have a body corporate yet. Where the fuck did you book this
Yeah.
to?
No, there's a booking portal you can go to.
Oh, that's cool.
But it was just for the function room, like the one
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
Not the whole fucking rooftop. Because if you, like, there's 100 apartments there, you would never be able to go on the
Yeah.
rooftop. Like, people
Literally.
would book it every weekend.
Oz Stereo would do all their world
The world
famous.
famous, I want to do a
rooftop.
world famous
Absolutely.
rooftop from up there.
That would be great.
Would be good. Get Ed Sheeran up there.
It would be really nice.
And so what happened? Did
So
they?
everyone, the whole Facebook group revolted on her.
Okay.
And she was like, "Oh, I didn't know. I was like, "Well, have some fucking common sense.
Yeah.
Think about it."
I
And
wonder
she
if
goes,
everyone
"Oh,
rock
but I
up?"
booked catering, I booked drinks and stuff." And I messaged her saying, "Hey, I've just moved in today, and I was hoping to have drinks on the rooftop." And she's like,
What's
you
the
can come
catering?"
after 9. I'm like, "No, I'm coming up before then."
you
go
come up
up there.
after 9.
She
This
found my
fucking chick
apartment later on that the day.
just
and came
followed
and
the
knocked on
sand
it. No,
trails.
Oh,
She knocked.
Came and apologized. And she goes, "But also, if you want to come up afterwards, or just text me if you want to come up." I was like, "I'm not texting you to come up."
fuck.
So I ended up coming. I made a point of going up during her party, and like there was
Absolutely
catering going
wasted.
around.
Was there?
Helping yourself to the sushi
Fucking-
from the
Oh, it was-
teppanyaki.
but like, she'd actually apologized to everyone saying, "Hey guys, I didn't realize, it's all good." And then later on, she printed signs up and put it in lift saying "rooftop closed between 5 and 9." She's just like really dug a hole.
The
Unless
fucking cheek on that little girl.
Unless that's a brilliant troll by someone else to make everyone really hate her.
yeah, it was the Strata guy.
Yeah, he's starting all
kicked
these
out.
rumors.
It was actually great because I had friends come that day just to come look at the rooftop and have a drink up there.
So you had an
And then when they
excuse.
turned up, they were like, "Every Saturday, is there always an acoustic guitarist and catering wandering around the rooftop?"
Was there an acoustic performance? Oh,
yeah.
that's nice. Do you reckon she would have needed a permit technically for what she was pulling? How many people were there?
No, it would have been. It wasn't that many, so she didn't need the whole fucking rooftop anyway. She had no friends.
and was
surely
it just
she-
a friend performing? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Surely you did this as a phoner on the
No,
show.
because I just
Moved in.
I didn't want to ruffle feathers.
Yeah,
I should
But
do it now.
As if, like, I've seen the selling point for a lot of these new apartments is
Yeah.
the rooftop space. There's so many,
Oh yeah.
so as if this isn't happening.
It's because the
All over the
apartments are so small, so they're like, "Fuck, we need to have this
Yeah.
big spot for everyone to go."
yeah.
It's pretty good though. It's got a rooftop cinema. It's got a projector screen.
What?
And you can plug your laptop in, or it's got Foxtel or internet, or
So do you have to book that out?
you can book that. Yeah.
Do you reckon you'd get done for watching Pornhub on there? If
Haven't
you
yet.
Do you reckon? Haven't yet. Dude, I wonder if that's a in the communals. Everyone comes out.
Yeah.
I booked it, guys.
Yeah, exactly. I booked.
You don't
it.
have to watch it.
This sounds weird. Have you noticed driving that, like, police are now doing real creepy, like, sneak ups to cars and looking in?
I've been done.
You
Yeah,
have?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I got done. Sad state of affairs.
Were
It's
they
like
both when they were on
It's-
motorbikes?
Mine was a bike. I was like, "Can I outrun him?"
I saw this creepy cyclist. He's literally hiding behind a tree on Punt Road. Creeps out. He's like, and then strolls
on.
up and he's
Sniffing.
Why
like,
is he sniffing?
Yeah.
add to the effect.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Both guys, you haven't had your dim sims.
No, we
by the way.
have. So, no, we haven't.
I'm just.
I'm
waiting.
fine for the
I
moment.
was talking
I'm telling you a
lot.
story, mate.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
telling a story. I'll have a bite.
Yeah.
Have a
that's
bite. So I'm watching this guy. I'm almost about to hold the horn down to let this person know because he's at the back of the car. He's like literally just like hiding out of position, and then he walks around and he just puts his arm into the window, like he's like almost got his hands in there. And I was thinking, this guy's fucked. Nothing happened. He must have had a conversation, said, "Be careful, mate. Don't do that. We're watching." And he drove off. But I was thinking yesterday driving, I'd love to start trolling these people. So they're looking for people who have got their
looking down.
Yeah, their eyesight looking down. But I thought, what if you got a fake penis and had it coming out of a short? I'm
so sorry.
out of your shorts.
No good story starts with, what about if we got a fake
If you go to that much effort, just get your actual cock out.
No, but
It's true at that point, isn't it?
So I'm going to go to an
just
adult
like-
store and buy a
so This
dildo.
is my legit thought yesterday. What if you do that? And then my head went into, would that be illegal if you had a fake penis and they thought... But no, then I started thinking...
Sorry, sir, you've got to fine for fiddling with yourself while driving.
But then I was like, would you get in trouble if you were actually fiddling with yourself?
Yeah, public indecency, surely.
But no, what if no one's seeing it? Like,
Well, he's seeing it, obviously.
yeah, but he's walked up like a creep to look in my window. Not that I do this.
Well, mate, there's only one
think-
way to find out.
I mean, it's a good question. Like, there's a guy downstairs who 13 knives. He makes knives.
Oh, yeah.
Really amazing. Like, you can get like a whole chef set. I was very tempted, but like a whole chef set.
Takes him 25 hours to make a knife
It's
or
like
something.
$3,500 for a whole. It's crazy. Anyway, I was asking him about like how you can take the knife home because you're technically not allowed to carry knives.
Yeah.
And what he was saying was because if you're a chef or whatever, you can say I'm a chef and do all that sort of thing. But I wonder what happens with sex toys and carrying them. The difference between
As in...
well, so if it is public indecent, like if it's not
So
okay.
you're saying you've bought a sex toy and
you
you
bought
want
a sex
to
toy.
walk home with
Walk
it.
home. Could
Put
you
it in a
get?
bag.
No, you can do what you want with a sex toy.
No, I don't think you can.
What do you make? We
Well,
used to
so I
drive
work-
down Chapel Street with a huge black dildo.
Different time. Different time.
Different time?
I
It was
work with
ginormous.
footballer Brendan Favola,
Ah, yeah,
who
he-
famously got in trouble on a muck-up day. What do they call it?
Mad
Monday,
Yeah.
Monday.
for running through Federation Square with a giant dildo.
Just in his hand.
In his hand.
He was also in a dress.
Well, there was that as well.
I don't think that's. I
That's
think
not-
it's dressed.
No, he was like in a dress. He looked like
I
a
think,
kook.
and he was also
He
very inebriated.
Yeah, so he looked like he was causing mayhem. He didn't look like
What was he done for?
public indecency. I
Okay.
think. Yeah, and maybe drunk and disorderly.
Yeah, that one.
Just on what are the rules with the phone? Because I've read a few different things. Because after I got the phone on my phone, I got like a dock for my dash.
Like
Yeah.
a quad lock.
Yeah. So you put your phone there.
Yeah.
I've heard that you can use your phone.
Nah, not
No,
allowed.
no.
In Victoria, you cannot touch.
You can't
The,
touch.
you
no,
can't touch the device.
even with
cannot.
You're
'cause
correct.
the cop told me.
No, the cop is full of shit.
Yeah.
Well, he fined me. So
That he's trying to set you up again. You can't.
So even if I use
you
GPS,
cannot.
GPS.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not. You can't.
What about
touch
Uber
it.
drivers? They use it.
Yeah, they're loose as fuck.
No,
No, but that's the actual system you need when you're an
So,
Uber driver.
but as an
you
Uber
have to
Mr.
driver,
sign
97,
there.
can you look that up?
No,
for
but
me?
as an Uber driver, you should be able to do it all before you leave. So you
Nah, 'cause they
person
sit in
gets
the
in,
car.
accept ride, and then go.
Because sometimes you change route and you've got to accept that, or you've got to
God.
accept your next customer as you're driving.
It's interesting. I don't
True,
think.
yeah.
I think you're allowed to use GPS.
I've asked Mr.
That's it,
97
and
to have a
music.
look
Because I remember looking that up loosely, but then
loosely. I remember looking up loosely.
well, there's so many fucking blogs saying all different things. But
Yeah.
what I could work out was GPS and music if it's in a cradle. Yep. But then anything else you can't. But then like if a cop pulled you over and you're scrolling through Instagram all of a sudden your cradle, you can just flick it back to
Yeah.
GPS and go, I was just using my map.
Mate, I've seen police just on the phone like this,
yeah.
just fully
Oh, they can do it.
holding.
But a current affair, remember, I think I've spoken about this. They did a whole report on the fact that you can't eat while you drive.
Really?
You can't touch, you can't even have a water bottle and be drinking it. That is illegal in a lot of states.
I saw a bloke eating a full bowl of cereal with noise-cancelling headphones on driving down the highway.
That's ridiculous.
That was outrageous. He was living his best life. He was laughing. He was probably obviously listening to
This
something,
podcast, yeah.
something funny. Something funny. Not the first 15 minutes of this one, but the later period, it peaks.
The Leon, have you got any suggestions in regards to the podcast? You got a good mind for content.
Tighten it up.
I feel like
very quick to that piece.
A podcast is completely different to radio, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so there's nothing that we
So
could
the exact
take.
opposite of tighten it up. That's
You know what? If
Podcast
anyone
be
says
long
tighten
wide.
up, I say double speed it. And then
Exactly.
you've got your Titan,
Absolutely.
Titan show.
Absolutely.
Loosen it up. I do like that.
Loosen up, half speed.
Have we got the answer?
Yeah, you can use it for music and audio, music and GPS.
Bullshit.
Yeah. So
But
how-
it has to be secured.
Yeah.
And the driver can't be touching any part of the phone.
Yeah.
Well, how do you?
It's so you can have it up there.
But you just can't touch it.
That's a real grey area.
You may
you
have.
need
You
it
may-
back on-
about if it's a
would you
fake
like some
cock?
cake? But you can't touch it. But you can. It's
If the
here.
cock is attached, you can't touch it.
No, but I think that's pretty clear. What it's saying is you can't be FaceTiming with the phone, which I've done a lot.
Oh, not
do you
FaceTime.
mean
I was
FaceTiming?
thinking he was meaning FaceTime. He just means not as in FaceTiming people while driving.
Yes.
You
What
meant
did
that?
you think I meant?
I thought you meant that, but I was like, no,
I think-
surely you didn't mean
No,
that.
if
Like,
I'm driving and
who the fuck's FaceTiming while driving?
Matt D'Avella, I FaceTimed him that time.
Yeah,
and
he's fucking
sounds dangerous.
stupid.
yeah, but I was the one doing it. Did you
Yeah,
say
it sounds dangerous.
You're stupid. He's just at home on the couch, probably.
It's true. No, what were you going to say?
I was just
Leo?
saying that I feel like if you're driving and you know where you need to be and you've got to put an address in, you should be able to put that in your GPS if it's on a cradle.
What the hell happened
I'd
back
probably
in...
wait till you're at the traffic lights.
Yes, back at Melway days, though, which was...
Yeah, my
a-
dad used to
a
fucking
book.
drive it like with
Yeah.
it on his lap and go, oh, just flick around and look where he's.
Bit of this in front of the
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I fucking can't see it.
the DJing that you're doing.
Oh, yes.
So
Good segue. Actually, I've got some advice. Segue.
no, so Tommy mentioned at the start of the show, DJ.
Oh, DJ
Sjogren.
Shergz. Yeah.
Shergz.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So how the fuck did you, one, become a DJ, and two,
Okay, yeah.
can you explain, is a DJ like as in blue light disco, play music? No. Play
So
music.
where was the last blue light? Just
Play-
where you went to.
I never went to Blue Lights. I only went to the school organised ones. But the school organised ones, I did DJ and I played the song. In grade 6, I played the song Baked Beans by Mother Goose.
Don't know it.
Baked
Never
beans,
heard it.
baked beans, baked beans, baked beans. I'm going to tell you a little story.
Jeez.
Who was that?
It's a really...
Can I find it on
Yeah,
Spotify?
well,
Is it-
can you just bring up the lyrics? Because I don't want to get a copyright infringement for playing the music.
Oh, of course.
But if you can play, if I can get the Mother Goose lyrics,
No, I would probably not prefer... I'd probably not want
Do you
to
think
hear
Mother
that.
Goose is going to come after you?
Mother
Potenti-
Goose Club?
Potentially. No.
Is
It's
it Mother Goose?
Mother Goose.
Baked beans, Mother Goose.
Baked
in the
beans. No, it's a very good song. Stand by. But anyway, can I not play it, please? But can you just explain? So what happened with me, by the way, was I played this song.
And
because-
everyone left.
Yeah, well, I thought it'd be funny. I was like mid-disco. I said, everyone lay down.
The fucking...
It sounds like a
Yeah.
cult.
The DJ.
And I was like,
But
Jim
Martin-
Jones
yeah,
before he gave him
it's
the
not
the spiked
yoga.
wheel.
And the thing was, there was some like real sick units in my primary school or whatever, and they were like so pissed off because they were playing all this like da 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 type of music, and then I went in, yeah, that sort of tune. And so anyway, it didn't go down that very well. But baked beans, I actually know I knew all the words, and if I just have the beginning, I'll be able to do it. And it's
No,
gonna
we
be
don't
worth
want
it.
you to do it. That's the main point. Tell your story.
Yeah,
You,
Oh, so
he
how
asked
did-
you about getting
I'm not-
into DJ.
Okay, so I have been DJing, but I don't think I'm an actual DJ. Like, my friend
Josh
owns
does.
a bar on Johnson Street called Fifi's, which is next to the Bendigo Hotel.
Yeah.
And I used to go in there a lot, and the owner, we were talking about music, and she said, oh, why don't you jump behind the decks one time? I was like, yeah, I don't know how to DJ. She goes, that's fine, just like make a Spotify playlist and just,
That's what all the others do.
yeah. So I did that a few times, and she was paying me to do it.
Really?
And then now one of my best friends has just opened a bar on Smith Street called the Lame Duck. And she's like, oh, can you come DJ at my bar? And I'm like, sure, I'm not a DJ. Like, I don't know how to DJ. And I was doing the same thing using Spotify and sort of curating it on the go and reading the vibe. It's like 60s, 70s, 80s dive bar kind of thing.
Do you minimise anytime someone comes over to request a song just so they don't know that you're
Then I'm looking at porn.
Well, yeah, exactly. No, but like Spotify, I'm guessing there's probably people that would Like if I saw that the DJ was using Spotify from a credibility point of view.
Well, but I also was never saying that I'm
a
actual DJ.
But
Like-
did you feel the pressure to all of a sudden say, you know what, I'm going to start pressing some buttons?
Well, no,
here.
and since then I've taught myself how to use the decks.
Oh, great.
Which is good. I'm not great, but
Yeah.
I absolutely nail song selection.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
getting better with, curating and stuff.
So what do you actually do? What does the deck do for you? Does it help with transition of songs?
Yes,
Do you do beats
So
per minute?
You have both sides, and you have USB, and I usually connect a laptop.
Mike.
Sorry,
Yeah,
mic
fine.
technique. Connect a laptop or another USB, and it's beat matching. It reads BPM, and you can find similar songs beat matched or like speed and slow it, speed it down, slow it up, or other way around. But and then it's just I've been enjoying it, and I was supposed to DJ at the Grand Prix today. I've been
Really?
getting gigs. I got a gig to DJ at the Melbourne Cup. I was busy. I couldn't do that one. I was supposed to do the Grand Prix today, and I backed out because I was like, again, I'm not a DJ.
That's
I don't think you realise.
Was it like a marquee or what was
Yes,
it?
like
Can
it
you
was actually-
say
do you
what
know
the brand was?
Okay,
or-
Red Bull. Like it was a big brand. Like, have you ever seen those giant the black Red Bull
Yeah.
ATV trucks and things?
Yeah, they're sick.
And they have the roofs that lift up, and there's DJ decks that come out of it. They wanted me to do that.
Who's this through?
A media company through someone at my work.
Okay.
And what's
So
the what do you wear when you do you wear one of your shirts?
Yeah, you wear a colourful shirt usually.
Because that's one thing.
Why don't you
that-
pop in tomorrow night? I'm DJing
that's a good
tomorrow
idea.
night.
Well, I think
this
that'd be great
What do I teach you?
show
we would-
content.
Why don't you? I'll drop
If-
Mother
to be
Duck or
honest-
whatever it's called, Mother Goose.
Mother Goose, baked beans, Mother Goose. I got a little song entitled "Baked Beans."
Can you drop it? See what? Get a sample.
I'll,
of
do
it.
it.
whatever video, I'll drop it and I'll
Baked beans, baked beans, baked beans, baked beans. Seriously, can you go on Spotify, viewers and listeners, and type in Mother Goose baked beans, and just imagine being at a disco listening
Where
to that
you're
song.
singing it. Did you sing it? Did you
I
get
didn't
on the
sing-
mic?
No, I didn't. I didn't get on the mic.
Wow, right.
But I was ridiculed, and I just remember having to have conversations with.
ridiculed. It's really like.
If you fuck it up,
Have you DJed before? I feel like you've DJed.
Yeah, I bought DJ decks.
Yeah, yeah.
And my mate used to have a DJ business. My brother's DJ. They've got like all
good
the
money.
gear.
did you have
Fuck yeah.
CD? Wait, do you?
We had CDJs, turntables. My brother's got this thing called Tractor.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fucking sick. It's like making it easier to
It makes
DJ.
so much. You think called record box.
You're
which is
literally
great.
seeing two tracks.
That's it.
And you're seeing where the beat hits this center point. You could even do it, Josh.
Yeah.
Just like
Do you
it's
ever do you
literally-
ever talk on the microphone?
No, I'd love to. I yell a lot.
Oh, what do you
I
mean?
love songs, but if you get them drunk enough and whipped up in a bit of a frenzy, like
Yeah.
How do you
the
get them
songs
drunk
like-
enough?
well,
Get
it's
another
later-
drink!
The bar's open till 4
Yeah.
that I DJ
Crank
to.
the
so it's
heat
like,
up.
Yeah.
But things like "Somebody to Love" by Queen. Do you know
Oh,
that
yeah,
song?
yeah.
Somebody.
That-
Da,
yeah.
da, 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 da.
Yes, that's the one. And there's a part at the end of the song where it's like the clapping sort of bit.
Yeah.
You get people to stamp their feet and clap and you can get people up and going. Like it's
Yeah.
such a fucking rush. It's great.
You're just controlling them.
Like
It's
Blister in
cult.
the Sun, Blister in the Sun, that song.
Da,
You get them
da,
to crouch
da,
down
da,
when it's
da,
quiet,
da, da.
and then bring them back up when it's loud.
Have you-
Baby, go on.
Have you watched the Avicii documentary?
No, that didn't end well for
Super
him.
sad. Yeah,
No.
yeah. You know
I
the
might not.
end. He dies.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He dies.
Well, that's. I'm trying
So
to
sad.
rev myself up to watch this Michael Jackson.
There's no revving up needed.
Rev up for it, mate.
He's
There's
actually-
no warm up.
You don't want to high before you watch that to get a low
Have you
because
watched
you'll
it?
be yes.
Yeah.
Did we
You'll be
mention?
coming lower.
Did we mention, Tommy, that when we were at a TAFE the other day, we were explaining what we do, and someone said, "Have you ever said anything that you regretted or anything like that?" And Tommy minced his words and said,
No, I didn't mince my words. I said-
he said, "Oh, look, I the other day I was playing devil's advocate for pedophiles on the show." Leon,
I can't remember
Sjogren.
specifically what I was saying, but I was.
But you didn't do that, so it's
But what- hang
you
on,
were
no, I
never
think
playing
I
devil's
did.
advocate for pedophiles.
I think I was saying a counter side for someone who may have been in that position. So it could have come across like I was playing devil's advocate, saying I don't agree with anything that
supportive.
pedophiles do.
Yeah, but what were you saying? What were you saying?
I'll have to listen back, but I just remember because you made a comment after the show saying you said
I said you could cut that
they
out
could-
or whatever.
They could you said
Oh, you
someone
take it
could
out of
take
context.
that
Yeah.
and take it out of context, and so that's my point. If I'm to say, well, fuck, okay, I don't
don't say
agree with any of these fuckwits, but what if there was another side to this bit here? I can't remember what I was saying, but
See, but
there
that's-
are valid arguments about these two that are claiming sexual abuse, but it's so icky. Like there's,
I just feel
I
like
said even
what's-
if it was 5% true, 1% true, it's fucked. Like so, even if it
situation-
wasn't the full extent to what they said on that documentary, small bit, it's disgusting.
we actually had a conversation at the bar that I've been DJing at about not playing MJ anymore, just because it's a weird thing. Because a lot of people, it's really mixed people.
I wouldn't
and-
play MJ anyway. And I just feel like nah.
Mate, yeah.
Queen,
he's got
I'd be
some
Sorry, if you
amazing
played
songs.
baked beans.
Yeah, no, but
Fucking hell.
if something, I mean, the thing is, Freddie Mercury was a bit of a dirty
Yeah,
bastard, but
yeah.
not a pedophile.
Okay.
Wasn't he? He was very like
Well,
he
he was
would. He
keeping
had like a
boys
lot. He had like
behind.
5 like big orgies and stuff like that. But I guess it's all.
Most rock stars in the 70s did, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Bowie, Mick Jagger.
Yeah, they were all
Michael
doing it.
Jackson, just not the ones that everyone else
Yeah.
liked. It's
Okay,
horrible.
no, I get it.
It's
So
horrible.
have
How
you
did
seen the
tackle-
doco?
I watched the first half of the first hour of the first half, and
Couldn't
it was
watch.
too much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's horrible. What did you guys talk about it on your show?
Yeah, we have. Just about if your views have changed after watching the documentary.
About Michael
It's kind of
Jackson.
mixed. A lot of people still think he's innocent. Some people. I've got a friend who's got a full length tattoo of Michael Jackson on her torso, and I'm like, ugh, I don't know how to bring it up with her. I'm
Yeah.
like, how do you feel about that tattoo now?
bet she's thinking
he's
about it.
Absolutely. He's still proven not guilty at this point. You know, but still, there's a lot of stigma.
But there's
around
that legal thing, but then there's also just common sense, right?
it. Yeah.
And so I think that's I heard.
I personally think it was just weird that he was having little boys sleep in his bed as an adult. That's
Well, if
Yeah.
it stopped there, that's weird. If
Oh,
it
yeah,
just
exactly
stopped at
right.
him
That's
doing
exactly
that,
right.
that's
Yeah.
fucked up.
yeah. There's some lot of things to consider.
Do you think that with the DJing stuff,
You're going to leave the show. Fifi
Absolutely.
Feb and Byron show.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, do you think
You
that
heard it
maybe
here first.
maybe next year? Do you think that you would do the Grand Prix? Like you would actually?
I think I'm trying to get my skills up a bit more. You know,
I'm going to take that out of context and imply that you are going to do the Grand
He's booked
Prix.
for 2020 Grand Prix.
Yeah. Yeah.
Melbourne.
Getting
the
paid
launch.
$40 million like as one of the race car drivers.
me and Dead Mouse.
He's Dead Mouse.
He's the DJ.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Again,
I thought that was
pop culture again.
No, but I thought that was a name for Daniel Ricciardo.
Dead
Mouse.
No,
Dead Mouse. Dead Mouse. I do like that though.
I did have an idea a few years ago where I was, before I even started doing DJing, but I saw a
Can you stop doing it? Every time you say DJing and you do the little things
Well,
with
not
the
actually,
quotation thing. Spotify.
Spotifying.
I hope you at least have a premium account.
No, yeah, I do.
Okay,
I was at a
that's-
party recently and that they didn't have a premium account. It was really annoying.
No, that's weird.
But I had an idea for a DJ sort of to do a show called Walt DJ, which is a DJ set that just plays Disney songs.
Oh, that's cool.
You'd be sued.
I got to the point. Well, that's the thing. I've got a Instagram account, a Twitter account, and Facebook.
Walt DJ?
Yeah.
I don't know if Walt would be trademarked.
But playing his music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you couldn't do it as an official. You do a few sort of at local bars and
Yeah.
stuff, but you couldn't make money off it.
Yeah,
The idea would be just do a set full of songs, but a lot of props involved. So when Under the Sea's on, get a bubble gun.
That's a good idea. Mickey
During-
Mouse head.
Yeah,
whack
Mickey
that
Mouse
on.
head. You could walk out with Fantasia with the robes
Yeah.
on.
Hilary
Yeah, yeah.
Duff was Disney as well.
I
Lizzie
wouldn't
McGuire.
play much Lizzie McGuire.
Did you see the film?
Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
No, I didn't actually.
It was actually a very good film.
For the films that Josh has seen,
Yeah, it was up there.
it's
It's no Schindler's List.
It was in Europe. Yeah.
Haven't seen Schindler's
No,
List.
I haven't.
It's very different.
I get that.
well, we should have a movie night up on your
On my rooftop.
rooftop. We'll book out the whole
Book
joint.
the whole
Tell
plot,
Jenny
yeah.
from apartment 302 to fuck off.
Do you think we could
We've
do
got
it?
we've got the full thing.
Could we do a outside broadcast from
Yeah, if you want.
your rooftop?
Absolutely.
How many people do you reckon we could fit comfortably?
How
Just
many
give
are
us
you
a
bringing?
number. I mean,
We've got big numbers.
how many do you reckon?
I don't know, 100 and something.
100 and something? I reckon let's bring 15 just to be
15.
Be
Well, we'll just-
respectful.
What are you doing
Mason's,
up there? Why
Mason's
We'll do a
girlfriend,
show.
if he lands one. in the
Fat
next
Friday.
couple
We'll do
of
a Fat
weeks.
Fridays.
Yeah.
We'll use the teppanyaki
Oh, we'll do the
barbecue.
teppanyaki grill. Okay.
That could be fun. And because I'm guessing afternoons
Yeah, it's
are
always
good
empty
for,
on the
and
afternoon.
good for you as well because you've done with the show.
Exactly. Yeah.
What do you, in regards to radio and producing and all that sort of thing? You've peaked in some regards. Well, you have.
It's down from here, buddy.
You've got the top producing role in Melbourne, really.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon you could do next? What's on the cards?
I want to keep producing for a little while because I love content. Because I feel like the higher you go up, the less you get to actually create content. So I think for a while I'm still happy where I am. And then by the time that I move on from that, I feel like radio will be different anyway. So there'll be different roles or a different job. So I don't plan too far ahead. I don't like that.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for Mr. 97? Maybe the reason he's on his phone is because he's
bored.
No, he's actually writing in. What have you? So he writes down.
You got a date, or are you just writing notes?
he's writing notes.
You got a match.
No, he writes notes. So can you tell us what's on today's show?
God.
So that's his task to sort of take notes.
Yeah. What
Yeah, so it hasn't been filtered down. Leon's first jobs: Getflix Debt Collectors, Our Fat Fridays order, 18 dim sins, Malvern Place to figure out where it is for Josh.
Thank you.
Financial advice with Leon, Josh's bin problem, unofficial buddy corporate meetings, new apartment problems, new breed of cops, the Michael Jackson documentary, producing Fifi, Fev and Dave.
And Byron.
Byron.
Dave left a while back.
Forgive him though. When was the last time you listened to a radio?
So I haven't even listened to
Well, he does,
Fifi, Fev
Not
and
hurtful. You're not coming in now.
It's actually that's an interesting perspective that I guess you can gain from someone who doesn't listen. Is a kid that's grown up never listening and then comes into one of the biggest shows in Melbourne. It's like I'm so
fascinated about the Daily Talk Show. I'm
so fascinated for Masson, Mr. 97.
Do you call him Masson?
Yeah.
You're full rattled.
I'm looking forward to hearing what he thinks about the experience because we've been in the bubble, we've been there.
Well, I reckon there's so much because there's heaps of things that I want to bring in from a professionalism point of view that like when working with you, Leon, just the way that do you still do the 1 pages and shit for guests, all that sort of thing? What is
Was there a 1 pager for me today?
Absolutely not. No. Well, what we'll actually discuss.
1 pager, the dumpling menu.
Yeah.
No, we'd spoken about like, do we want to do 1 pages? If you're producing your own show, like, do you need it? Do you lean on it too much? Have you found a balance where it's like sometimes talent will use 1 pages too much and go into an interview blind? Or
No, our guys are pretty good. Like they just need the hard facts about someone, but then they have their own ideas and questions about things, and we throw ideas around beforehand.
have you ever fucked it where you've put something in a 1 pager that's not true?
Oh yeah, I still remember the best one. It was Jules, your mate Jules, when I was on Fifi and Jules. They were going to play a game, like it was like a Would You Rather game.
Yeah.
And it was with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. So the guys from Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. Nick Frost is in that new Fighting With My Family movie. And it was a hypothetical about would you rather something with blah, 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 or something with your dad. And Nick Frost was like, well, my dad died 3 weeks ago. Oh. And the studio was just ice cold.
And what happened?
Jules just sort of shrunk into a hole. And
Was that from the 1 pager? Did you come up with that idea? Or
it wasn't
no?
me. I don't think that was
Who
me.
was
It
it?
was on.
I can't remember who it was.
Was it Josh Janssen, the character?
It could have been.
I would have not have been allowed to do anything for the 1
No,
pager.
he wasn't allowed anywhere near the
It would have been
show.
Kerry. Definitely would have been Kerry.
And who took the blame? How did Jules react?
I think Jules did.
Well, he's
Well, Nick
fronting
Frost's
it.
famous words were never assume someone's parents are alive, guys.
Yeah, he said
It's
that.
a good point. Like,
I feel like-
anytime...
Yeah.
Tommy, you would be someone to assume that someone's parents are alive.
No, I'm rather careful. Careful.
I'm pretty careful now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd probably be
How's
the
your dad?
person to fuck it up.
He's good.
Good.
Actually.
Good. Just want to check.
I could fuck it up, but I'd own it, I think.
How do you own it?
I'm sorry. Fuck. I'm so sorry, dude. That's shit. That's all you get. What
Well,
else?
that's it. And
what else
like,
can you say?
again, how are they supposed to know?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of things about them they wouldn't be able to know. So
I think I'd be more uncomfortable, like if that was me, that something like if I was in situation, say if one of my parents passed away, and then certain things like Mother's Day and like that would just
it's
be,
always, yeah.
it'd be like like part of the anxiety for me would be more around like people saying shit and then having to be like, I think
It's
I'd just
okay.
pretend.
Yeah.
Just pretend.
Well, I think people end up being
you'd pretend.
sometimes.
Yeah, but like Mum's good. Yeah, I got her like another mug. Didn't like it that much
Far out.
because I'd prefer to make them feel
But
comfortable.
that's like,
Yeah.
But then where it falls over, it's like, she should come round for dinner.
yeah, that's it.
And then
Then your life becomes a plot of a sitcom.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then I become character Josh, not real Josh. We got some emails.
Yeah, we got heaps of emails. We're talking about Cadbury cream eggs. Wayne Peters has blown that lid fucking wide open.
He's also Tommy's just loving the last name today.
Anyway,
Apparently he's in witness protection, which is good.
so hang on. In radio,
Yeah.
this is where I draw that from. The
Would you say last names in radio?
No. Okay, I said his last name. I've said his last name before. We say his last name on Twitter. We tag him on Instagram.
We don't know if it's last name. It could be a fake last name.
Well, it's not. But in radio, you always say, it's Linda from Maroopna.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what I said yesterday, which you pulled me up on. I said it's Hayley from Wangaratta or something like that. Anyway.
A lot of regional listeners, don't you?
Yeah. I'm just pulling myself back to those Shepparton days. Wayne has said Cadbury cream eggs originated in the UK in the early 60s.
But then he sent a link to Wikipedia, which, based on the fact that they were marking you as a promotional page rather than an official one, I think it's fake news.
Yeah, it's shit resources. But that's interesting that, they're from the UK as well.
It feels like a UK thing.
Yeah. Well, why? What do you?
I don't know. I feel like I remember there being TV commercials for Cadbury cream egg when we were younger, and it was a UK ad.
Yeah, like a British, like the Cadbury. I imagine it being like a Jeeves, as in like a
smarmy
butler,
little
yes.
fucking kid.
Yeah.
No,
Posh
like an
little,
old.
little posh kid.
Yeah.
We also got one from Kay over in London. Keep up the great work. We've got quite a few people listening in London or the UK.
Have you taken the show to? You've been to the US.
We've been to the US.
You've been to the US. I've done the show from London,
That's
from
different.
an Airbnb.
You had a holiday while he had to work still.
It's true. That's what happened.
Mate.
Any others? Was that?
We got a bunch coming through. It's all different ones.
We'll
so
get to it on Monday. But
Yeah.
hi at thedailytalkshow.com. We have stickers. You can still get stickers.
this is the last day, so within Friday, that will probably bleed into the weekend. We actually have to keep it going Friday, but then it will be tomorrow over in the US and the UK. It becomes Friday. So if it's Friday and you're listening to this, send through hi at the Daily Talk Show, stickers in the subject line, and you'll get some stickers. Oh, give us your address.
Yeah, in the body of the
need
email.
that. We need that.
Shergz, would you?
Will we do a mail drop for everyone in my apartment building of your stickers?
That could be good.
Would you do that?
Oh, no, fuck off. No, I've just told all these stories. I don't want any of them to listen to this.
Could you please?
No.
What do you think about that? Me doing a mail drop with stickers in my apartment thing.
Well, do that.
But I think you need. Oh, you think people will look it up? They'll go. It says there our names. It says
I reckon
the
if
Daily
you
Talk Show.
if you put it in 100 letterboxes, you'd get 3 or 4 curious people.
We've got a lot of stickers.
It's some old school marketing, on
Do
the
a mail
ground
drop.
approach.
I'll do a mail
drop with. Listen to the Daily Talk Show. Here it is. Here's who we have on. Love you to listen. It's super old.
It
school.
does give
Old
me
school, but people would go, shit, yeah, that's great.
It gives me anxiety to think that it's in the building that I'm in, though.
Maybe don't do the
but
building.
that's
you're in
why I feel comfortable
the
with
building,
you
yeah.
doing it in
In
your
his
building.
building.
I know, but
Because it's like, hang on, they'll look up and they'll look at the Instagram and they'll be like, oh, that Josh that like is weird in the lift. Like, that's him, and they'll know.
Let's just go some other buildings, all right,
just
guys?
go pick another building, or
Okay.
just go houses.
Well, actually, that's the thing. The unique thing about the apartment block that I'm in is the letterbox. It's actually it's all just connected. My old apartment block, the letterbox was past the security. You had to go through a
yeah,
security
you've got
thing.
the same
there.
with mine. Yeah.
The one at our new apartment, I was wondering, I'm like, we get so many flyers, and it's because it's before security.
And it's also because you don't put no junk mail, please.
Yeah.
You haven't put a sticker on there.
well, I didn't have it at the last place, so
Because you had the fucking door,
Yeah,
dude.
exactly.
You had the junk mail filter.
Why don't you do a mail drop near universities? Because
That's a good idea.
Students listen to podcasts all the time.
yeah. Well, I was saying to Mr. 97.
This is what your EP should be sorting out.
Yeah.
these ideas.
Yeah. Can you whip up a flyer on some program and get it done?
Was that
Have them
yeah?
out by the weekend.
Sounds confident.
No, but I said to Mr. 97, I like the idea of we did a show at a TAFE. It was like a demo show.
Oh, yeah.
What about if we were to do like one a fortnight at a different TAFE?
They'd have to have us and want us to be there.
But if we were to say, hey, Media and Comms.
I think it's a good way. You're meeting people who are wanting to become content creators and podcasters. So it is. They're primed to listen to your show. So it's a good way for us to get people to listen.
Would you DJ if we did an
Opening set.
if we did but if we do a an event at some point,
I'd
would you do
DJ it?
And so how would you if I was to say you're doing a 20-minute set?
Yeah.
How would you break that up, do you think?
Depends on the audience, depends on the location, the time, if people are drunk or not.
Okay. If I said I like Queen,
Yeah.
and then
I
you
can
so
do
you
it.
just Queen, and I
I
love
can do
cover
a Queen
songs.
medley for you.
Queen cover song, just
Oh, it's really niche, but if you want.
yeah.
This
Fun.
is why you're not a DJ.
Yeah. But I think
They
that
really narrowed down your selection.
are you a cover? Do you like covers? Do you play?
I
a lot
love
of
covers myself. I don't play them because people want familiarity.
Sure. Okay. All right. It's a daily talk show. Leon Sjogren.
Thank you. DJ Shergz.
DJ. Are you on Instagram? something?
Yeah, Leon Sjogren.
No, but I thought you'd be DJ. Are you
I was thinking
DJ
about that.
Shergz anywhere? Have you got the
on the
domain
posters
name?
for my friend's bar. Yeah.
Have you got the domain name?
No,
I
I
feel
should
like
get
if
that.
you're serious about it, if we want to turn it into,
Yeah, maybe I
if
should.
we want it to be a good, successful venture,
Go
we need
check
to-
out my friend's bar. If you're in Collingwood, the Lame Duck.
Lame Duck,
On Fitzroy, Collingwood, on Smith Street.
Smith Street. Which part of Smith Street?
Corner of Smith and Gertrude.
And we also just need to quickly get an update. Mr. 97, what do you think of the Dim Sim for the first time
I
ever?
actually really liked it. I've
Yeah?
had an South Melbourne one.
They're,
for a while.
they're
great.
good.
Yeah.
They're pretty yummy.
Better than the
Give
dumpling?
us a bit more than that, would you?
Yeah, better than the dumpling. Yeah.
ABC.
What
guys,
else?
Always be content.
Come
What
on.
else? I thought dim sims were meant to be like soft,
That-
like not crispy.
You can get like boiled or steamed dim sims.
Uh,
Much
Yeah,
like
that'll be
dumplings, you can get
Yeah,
fried
yeah,
and
yeah.
steamed. You can get fried and steamed dim
Interesting.
sims.
Fuck, we're blowing his mind every
Yeah.
week.
Any
New
date
thing here.
date updates?
Oh, he's got one. Look at him.
There's
Or had
Smile.
one.
it's maybe
Or both.
this weekend. No, next week. Next Tuesday.
next
planning
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
That's nice.
Tight Ass Tuesday. Taking them to a
A movie or something.
half-price movie.
We'll have to see. Afternoon.
After
First,
the
have
the
to
date.
figure
first one,
something
or
out.
is it a meeting again?
No. First date. Yeah.
First date
Yeah.
of the second of his life.
Yeah.
Well,
Huge. We'll clap that.
Yeah, well
Well
done.
done.
good luck, Mr. 97. It's a
Well done.
daily talk show.
proud of
His
you,
date as well.
Please don't. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you Monday.
See you guys.